Hey there, homeschool friends. This is Carrie with Any Day Blessings, and on this channel, it's all things homeschool. I try to share with you curriculum flip-throughs and day in the life, do a lesson with us kind of videos to give you an idea of how we use different materials here and hopefully give you some ideas. I show you how we plan and schedule out our lessons in our homeschool year, and I even show you how we organize and store our supplies. So if any of that interests you, I would love for you to stick around and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit the like so I know that this is the content that you enjoy seeing here. In today's video, I'm just responding to a request from many of you to keep showing my library hauls, show you what I get from the library, and let you know how we plan to use it and read it, and if it's an independent book for my kids or read aloud and all of that. You all said that you enjoyed seeing this. Now, I have started scaling back on how many library books I get for a couple reasons. Number one, because I'm trying to keep the main thing, like my bag says here, and not overload us with too many like supplements and extras and all of that sort of thing. I'm trying to just keep our lessons more streamlined and allow for us to enjoy and go deeper here or there where we want to, but not necessarily schedule a lot of that extra stuff up front. The second reason that I'm not getting as many books out from the library is because we're kind of transitioning a little bit to longer books, chapter books, things that take a little longer to read through. So I'm just not going through as many books in a particular week. And I go to the library every week, so my weekly pickups are a little smaller because I'm just not getting as many books out because we're using books longer. We're not getting through with them in a week's time like we were before. So I'm going to pull out what's in our bag and I'm going to show you what we got. But speaking of this bag, this is part of my Back to School Week giveaway. I have designed this with a graphic designer along with some other items that I've put in a Teespring shop. It's just Any Day Blessings shop at teespring.com, I think is the website. I can leave a link below if you want to go check it out. But I am offering this bag as part of my Back to School giveaway along with another prize. So if you have not yet entered that, please look below for that video and you can enter up until Friday, August 28th. All right, so let's look in my bag. Now I can't remember, this was actually in my car when I came back from the library, and I put it in here because I wasn't sure if I showed this to you all in my last library haul, so I'll just show it to you now. And I'm trying to cover up the stickers of like the library stickers, but we have the Stuart Little audiobook, and I can't remember if I showed this to you in my last haul, but we are trying to listen to more library books, more audiobooks now that my children are kind of past the preschool music in the car phase. They kind of don't want that anymore. So I'm going to be playing some audiobooks, and I picked up Stuart Little because it reminded me of The Littles, which was a big hit here. So I'm not sure if you saw that last time. That's not from today's library haul. That was from last library haul, but I wasn't sure if I showed you. Okay, so from today I got the Swiss Family Robinson, which is a chapter book classics from Stepping Stones. It's that easy reader, and they come like in levels 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they have a classics. See, it says classic there. They have a classics section now, or division, I don't know what you want to call it, but they have fantasy, fiction, true stories, humor, history, and mystery. So they have all of those different little topics that you can get that are beginning chapter books in more of a younger child form. So they're not like this is not the full version, obviously it's super thin, but it's an abridged version of the story, and just show you some pages. So there's not pictures on every page, it's not a colored picture book, but there are some pictures spread throughout. So this is a great way to bring the classics in when you have younger kids. Like I have a kindergartner in the mix. Like every 4 pages or so there's a picture, and it's just like a black and white pencil drawing style picture. But there are other classics. There's a whole list of them here, you guys, a whole list of all these classics in this format, in the easy to read chapter book format. So I really like bringing in classics that way because it's a, if my kids really like it, then I can say, well, there's another version where there's like more stories and more detail. Do you want that one? But this at least kind of gets the stories in, and I'm able to kind of introduce them at a younger age than maybe I would because they're broken down a little bit. So I really like introducing longer chapter books in this way. I really, really like it. I picked that one because I'm hoping to go to Disney World with my kids sometime soon, and they have a tree house there that's like a replica of the tree house from the movie. This was Family Robinson movie, so really hoping to go see that, so I wanted to read that book. That will be our lunch read aloud after we finish Dr. Dolittle. We will be moving on to Swiss Family Robinson. All right, now this book I picked up, and I wasn't sure, again, I'm just covering the library sticker at the bottom. This book I picked up, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it I'm not sure if I'm going to make it a independent read for my son or if I'm going to make it a family read aloud, but I am brand new to these books. If you have used these, please comment down below what you think of them. I was told they're like the Magic Tree House meets Bible stories, or Magic Tree House but with Bible stories, and I'm not sure quite yet how I feel about that just how I feel about that description, but I'm going to check it out. So this is a book that I'm actually going to read myself and see what I think, and then I'll determine if we're going to use it at all, and then I'll determine, are we going to use it as a read aloud, or am I going to give this to my son to read? It looks very much like the book I just showed you, maybe a little more text per page, but it's in the beginner chapter book style, the slightly bigger font with a black and white picture, every few pages. And this is published by Worthy Kids Publishers. And it says for ages 6 to 9, reading level 1st grade through 3rd grade. So I could give this to my son, it looks like, as an independent read aloud. I'm just not sure if I'm going to do that or not. So this is a whole series too. Like, I think there's like I don't know how many books there are, but there's a series of these books. I think he's on like book 6 or 7 right now, so we'll check that out. Let me know below if you've tried those. And then this I've shown the series in other library haul videos, but we picked up the next one in this Easy Reader Boxcar Children book series. There's 151 Boxcar Children books, and my kids want to read them all. So I'm going to go through all of the Easy Reader ones first, and then I'll go back to reading the longer chapter book ones, because those are long books. Those are like over 200 pages, and those make for a long read aloud. So Mama loves these. My son actually likes to read these out loud at lunchtime, so I'll let him read this one, and then when we run out of the Easy Reader Boxcar Children books, I will go back to reading the longer, thicker chapter books over lunch, and maybe by next year he'll be ready to read those. He can read them now, like reading level wise, but he just doesn't have like the stamina to go through that thick of a book yet. So maybe by next year he'll be able to read the longer ones. This book I picked up, there's really nothing special. Like, I shouldn't say special. There's nothing, original about this. Lots of homeschool moms pick up books like this from National Geographic and DK and all of that. We are going to be studying plants this first semester, so my son really loves George Washington Carver. He thinks, he's super cool, loves all the inventions and ideas that he came up with. So we've read several books about him, but we have not read this one. It is going to be a super fast read. I'll have him probably read through this during our science lesson when we get to the lesson that talks about George Washington Carver, and just have him pick out some things that he thought was interesting. And this isn't going to be a major read. This will probably be like a 5-10 minute read, and we'll just add that on to a day of our science lesson. And then the last thing in the bag I have to show you is another Usborne book, Lift the Flaps, Measuring Things. I'm telling you, you guys, if your library has these, you need to get them for things like language arts and math, things that maybe tend to be a little more dry, just rote fact, memory type of things that just don't really energize or excite your kids, just those kind of dry fact things. These really make it fun. They're bright and colorful, and they have just like the little element of surprise with lifting the flap to see the answer, and they're just really well done. We did these, we got the fractions book that I showed you, the fraction and decimals book, and we got another book, Lift the Flap, Opposites for my daughter, for my kindergartner. So this one is actually for both my kids because it starts off with very, very basic measuring, like bigger, smaller, that sort of thing, and goes up to, you know, measuring in centimeters and measuring in milliliters and liters, and then standard units of measurement with cups and gallons. So it really is a multi-age, it spans multiple age levels that we can just use as a fun Friday thing, you know, to kind of still have something somewhat educational happening, but nothing of a formal lesson, you know, nothing planned and no assignments, just kind of discovery and learning together that way. So that is my very small library haul, but like I said, my hauls will be smaller because I'm trying to simplify things and keep the main thing, and not fill up my bag with stuff to do and books we have to get through and exhaust myself and exhaust my kids. Just trying to keep things a little more simple this year. So smaller library hauls will be on the plan for us as we march through this school year. I hope you enjoyed seeing what we're going to be reading. I'd love to hear your suggestions down below. Let me know if you've read those Hidden Scroll books and what you thought of them, and maybe what we can expect, or maybe what I should be looking out for with them, if they have any words of caution. And I will catch you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.